Kaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshe Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. हरे कृष्णा सचिन प्रभु.
हरे कृष्णा सबको. हरे कृष्णा माता.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Okay, so I guess we completed until text 18. So let's just quickly read the text. O twice born sages from 16, by serving those devotees. So I told you that from 16 it is a like a journey until verse 22, that is talking about the stages of devotional service or stages of faith, you also it may be called. O twice born sages, by serving. So Suta Goswami is speaking with the sages of Naimisharanya who are headed by Shonaka Rishi. And twice born means what? When initiation happens, person is considered to be born again, because a new name will be given, and it's like a purification process. O twice born sages, by serving those devotees. So Dvija means twice born. By serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudev. So we must always continue with the mood of service. And we don't know who is free from all vices, right? So we should in general serve all the devotees because they are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? And then we create auspiciousness, we create blessings for ourselves, and that's how we gain affinity for hearing the Krishna Katha. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So by hearing, by serving, we get affinity to hearing, and by hearing, the material desires of material enjoyment are cleansed. Krishna himself cleanses those desires. Why? Because these Krishna Katha is virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So hearing means hearing, and then chanting means what? Sharing the Krishna Katha with others, or glorifying Krishna among devotees, right? Or wherever we get an opportunity. So automatically the material desires will start fading slowly. The things that used to be very, very important for us, slowly we will start feeling that, oh, it's not that important, it's okay, I can let go on it, right? Similarly, it comes to our false ego, because false ego is most important thing which we are trying to protect all the time. Our mind tries to protect. So even that false ego, we can let go on it. If somebody insults, we won't mind so much, right? So this is how Krishna is cleansing our heart from within. Now, yeah, I think we completed this. We didn't complete this. Okay, so let's go to text 18. So I'll read. This is also very, very important verse, worth memorizing from 16 to 21. So 1 to 18. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't chant the Bhagavatam prayer today. So let's do that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Then नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Nashta destroyed, prayeshu almost to nil, abhadreshu all that is inauspicious. Abhadra means nityam regularly, bhagavata Srimad Bhagavatam or the pure devotee, sevaya by serving, bhagavati unto the personality of Godhead, uttama transcendental, shloke prayers, bhaktihi loving service, bhavati comes into being, naishtiki irrevocable. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of services to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here is the remedy for eliminating all inauspicious things within the heart, which are considered to be obstacles in the path of self-realization. The remedy is the association of the Bhagavatas. There are two types of Bhagavatas, namely the book Bhagavata and the devotee Bhagavata. Both the Bhagavatas are competent remedies, and both of them are either of them can be good enough to eliminate the obstacles. A devotee Bhagavata is as good as the book Bhagavata because the devotee Bhagavata leads his life in terms of the book Bhagavata, and the book Bhagavata is full of information about the personality of Godhead and his pure devotees, who are also Bhagavatas. A Bhagavata book and person are identical. Am I pronouncing it right? Bhagavata? Mata?
Bhagavat.
Bhagavat. Okay. The devotee Bhagavat is direct representative of Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So by pleasing the devotee Bhagavat, one can receive the benefit of book Bhagavat. Human reason fails to understand how to serve the devotee Bhagavat or
How
the book.
by serving the devotee Bhagavat?
Human
How by?
how by serving the devotee Bhagavata or the book Bhagavat, one gets gradual promotion on the path of devotion. But actually, these are facts explained by Srila Narada Dev, who happened to be maid servant's son in his previous life. The maid servant was engaged in the menial service of the sages, and thus he also came into contact with them. And simply by associating with them and accepting the remnants of foodstuff left by the sages, the son of the maidservant got the chance to become the great devotee and personality Srila Narada Dev. These are the miraculous effects of the association of Bhagavatas. And to understand these effects practically, it should be noted that by such sincere association of the Bhagavats, one is sure to receive transcendental knowledge very easily, with the result that he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. The more progress is made in devotional service under the guidance of the Bhagavatas, the more one becomes fixed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The message of the book Bhagavata therefore has to be received from the devotee Bhagavat, and the combination of these two Bhagavats will help to neophyte devotees to make progress on and on.
So this part, the more progress is made in devotional service under the guidance of the Bhagavatas, the more one becomes fixed in transcendental loving service of the Lord. Yeah. So any points, Prabhu, that caught your attention from this?
Uh, yeah, I mean, mainly, basically, it says that, either you read a book or you basically get into the association of the
Hmm.
Bhagavatas. And the other thing that caught my attention in this whole purport was that maid servant who was engaged in the services of the sages
Hmm.
was just receiving the prasadam, I can say, or the
Yeah.
food stuff remnants of the sages left by the sages, and that's
Mm-hmm.
how there was like a change, or he became into the personality of Srila Narada Dev.
Beautiful,
So
Prabhu. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Carry on if you were saying.
no, I think
Mm.
Mataji, that's what I can say,
Mm.
and that's what I think. Like the association, I think
Yeah.
yeah, Meghna Mataji is also saying something. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Meghna Mataji. You want to say? I, yeah, I think I know you are in hearing mode today. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
so
So she's saying emphasis on association, serving the
emphasis.
devotees of the Lord.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, two main points: emphasis on association and service of devotees of the Lord. So, book Bhagavat means this Bhagavatam that we are reading, and a devotee Bhagavat is one who actually exemplifies this book Bhagavat, right? And that's what it is being said, that these sages whom Narada Muni's mother was serving, they were like those kind of Bhagavats, right? And who were like completely detached from the material desires, but completely attached to Krishna. So yes, serving like that, we will definitely get become fixed in transcendental service ourselves. Wonderful. Yeah. So in that same line, now this another verse is coming. So, but let me go back and what stage this verse is showing. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati neshtaki. So Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha. Then after Sadhu Sangha is Bhajana Kriya, right? And Bhajana Kriya, and then this is called as Abhadreshu, means Anartha Nivritti. So whatever the anarthas are there. So Artha means what? Something which is wanted. Artha is also called as money, right? Artha Shastra, right? So money is also indicated by the word Artha in Sanskrit. But actually, Artha means whatever is desired by a person, right? So, but Anartha means what? Which is undesirable. So, whatever undesirable is there in our heart currently, that is blocking our bhakti, right? So, that undesirable thing will get nashta prayashu, means almost will be eliminated to nil. Okay, by what? By nityam bhagavata sevaya, either book bhagavat or person bhagavat. And by such seva, bhagavati uttama shloke, means that Bhagavan which is praised by uttama shlokas, means great poetic verses, right? To him, bhaktir bhavati neshtiki, to him our bhakti will become neshtiki, means now we are progressing towards nishtha, right? So this is the anartha nivritti stage, and that takes quite long because our conditioning is like tar. It is like, stuck to our heart, and it's very hard to get rid of false ego. Every time and again it keeps coming, our tendencies keep coming. But of course, we are getting aware of them now. And by such association, such reading of, association of each other and reading together, that is helping us, to understand our strengths and weaknesses both. So that's a very like a great blessing upon us. Okay. So now, after Anartha Nivritti stage, verse number 1 to 19. Tadarajastamo bhava kamalobhadayascha ye चेतयेतेरनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति. Tada, at that time, Rajah, in the mode of passion, Tamah, the mode of ignorance, Bhavah, the situation, Kama, lust and desire, Lobha, hankering, Adayah, others, Cha and Ye, whatever they are, Chetah, the mind, Ete, by these, Anaviddam, without being affected, Sthitam, being fixed, Sattve, in the mode of goodness, Prasidati, thus becomes fully satisfied. Yes, Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy.
Wow.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A living being in his normal constitutional position is fully satisfied in spiritual bliss. This state of existence is called Brahma Bhuta or Atmananda, or the state of self satisfaction. This self satisfaction is not like the satisfaction of the inactive fool. The inactive fool is in the state of foolish ignorance, whereas the self satisfied Atmanandi is transcendental to the material state of existence. This stage of perfection is attained as soon as one is fixed in irrevocable devotional service. Devotional service is not inactivity, but the unalloyed activity of the soul. The soul's activity becomes adulterated in contact with matter, and as such, the diseased activities are expressed in the form of lust, desire, hankering, inactivity, foolishness, and sleep. The effect of devotional service becomes manifest by complete elimination of these effects of passion and ignorance. The devotee is fixed at once in the mode of goodness, and he makes further progress to rise to the position of Vasudeva, or the state of unmixed sattva, or Sudha sattva. Only in the Sudha,
Shuddha,
Sudha,
Shuddha.
Shuddha sattva. Only in this Shuddha sattva state can one always see Krishna face to face by dint of pure affection for the Lord. A devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness, therefore he harms no one. But the non-devotee, however educated he may be, is always harmful. A devotee is neither foolish nor passionate. The harmful, foolish, and passionate cannot be devotee of the Lord. However, they may advertise themselves as devotee by outward dress. A devotee is always qualified with all the good qualities of God. Quali- Quantitatively, such qualifications may be different, but qualitatively, both the Lord and his devotees are one and the same.
Very nice. Anybody wants to share any points from this verse? Anybody, anything caught your attention? Sachin Prabhu?
Um, Not really, Mataji. Nothing is coming to my mind, but I think mainly the the overall thing is like, basically what this purport is saying is that a devotee is not like, there's some kind of a goodness in the devotee, and
Mhm.
it's not like it's free from the foolishness and all the things that, have been expressed here.
Yeah.
So no, not really. I will not be able to do the saransh of it, but it really makes sense to me overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, in essence, Prabhupada is saying here that devotional service is not inactivity. Devotional service is like one person is constantly thinking about how to serve Krishna, how he is always making plans and projects, to serve Krishna and his devotees in some or the other way. right? But sometimes people just keep sleeping and they are also inactive, right? But that inactivity is not that inactivity of of a transcendental person. So transcendental person becomes inactive materially by being completely active spiritually. So he is detached from material affairs, material activities. Okay, so obviously, I mean, many exalted devotees also perform occupational duties, like they take up job or something. Many disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were working there, like Jayananda Prabhu, he was a taxi driver or something, but he took it up so that he can serve Prabhupada. He just gave the whole salary to Srila Prabhupada, and the Nectar of Devotion project was done like that by Jayananda Prabhu's salary. He actually saved $50,000 to give to Srila Prabhupada. So but we are not there, and it's okay. We don't want to artificially or imitate these devotees. But yes, we know that this is what is complete surrender. So, but whatever we can offer, little bit, like many kind of devotional service offerings we can do. Like we are already trying to do certain things, like cleaning in the temple, drama performance in the temple, or helping with cooking food in the temple. Of course, at home also, this is all service only, right? But it depends on our consciousness. How are we doing it? If it is only our family and we are in the center, then that might become material. But if we are keeping Krishna in the center, then that's transcendental service, right? So by activities like that, so what did the last verse said? That one bhaktir bhavati naishtiki, right? So the last verse is saying that if we serve the book Bhagavata or person Bhagavata, then by such association the bhakti becomes irrevocable fact, means it becomes a nishtha. So when that kind of nishtha comes, okay, right now we have a long way to go, but when that nishtha will come, that time what will happen? That raja and tama will be removed from our existence, and then we will be situated in pure goodness, not only goodness but pure goodness, and that is called as Shuddha Sattva or Vasudeva consciousness. So who knows what is the name of Krishna's father? Anyone knows?
Vasudev, Vasudev,
Vasudev, yes.
Vasudev.
So why so Vasudev is reflecting his consciousness actually. It is Shuddha Sattva, means there is no contamination whatsoever. So in such a environment, Krishna descends. Okay, so when our heart becomes completely pure, then Krishna descends in our heart. Although he is already sitting in our heart, but when we become completely pure, we realize that Krishna is there in our heart. So Vasudev position is called as unmixed sattva or Shuddha Sattva. So we will go to that level when these passion and ignorance will be removed by constant devotional service. Okay, and devotional service is activity, not inactivity. Okay,
And
so
Mataji,
yeah.
this also remind me of that Veda class. There was like
Mhm.
these Raj. Uh,
Modes,
the
yes,
center was
gunas.
the modes of yes. So
Mhm.
not able to remember, but I think these were the three modes. I think
Yeah, he talked about 18 Puranas, and each mode has like 6 Puranas for each mode. So
right.
yeah, Tamoguna, he talked about Shiva
Some
Puran,
more.
Matsya Puran, Kurma, those. Yes, you're
Right.
right, Prabhu. That's a good remembrance. Yeah, so that's what the essence of this verse is, that when we are situated in Nishtha, at that time the impurities related with mode of passion and ignorance are completely removed, and a devotee is situated in complete goodness, Shuddha Sattva, and then he is always engaged in devotional service, means the attachment keeps increasing. attachment to Krishna. Okay, so let's move on to the last verse. I will maybe read this. 1 to 20. एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवत भक्ति योगतः भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते. So, evam, thus, prasanna, enlivened, manasah of the mind, bhagavad bhakti, the devotional service of the Lord, yogatah, by contact of bhagavat, regarding personality of Godhead, tattva, knowledge, vijnanam, scientific, mukta, liberated, sangasya, of the association, jayate, becomes effective. So, when we are situated in complete goodness, shuddha sattva, then prasanna, we become like very, very happy, or atmanandi, like last purport said, atmanandi, we become very, very happy within ourselves. So translation, thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, means shuddha sattva, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. So when one person is situated in that Shuddha Sattva and his mind is constantly enlivened by pure devotional service, that time he is getting positive scientific knowledge of presence of personality of Godhead, and he is liberated from all material association. So there is nothing material that can touch such a person. He will never feel any negative emotions. He may feel, but it will be only in relationship with Krishna. Like when Krishna was caught in coils of Kaliya. So although Krishna was playing, but all the Vrajavasis were experiencing negative emotions of fear, right, and worry. But those negative emotions were not mundane. They were not material. They were in relationship with Krishna. They were worried for Krishna. They were fearful for Krishna, not for themselves, right? Oh, this Kaliya will now come and bite us. No, they were not thinking. They were thinking about, oh my God, now this Kaliya will harm Krishna. That's how they were thinking. Okay, so only transcendental emotions will be there. So purport, in Bhagavad Gita 7.3, it is said that out of many thousands of ordinary men, one fortunate man endeavors for perfection in life. Mostly men are conducted by the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus they are engaged always in lust, desire, hankering, ignorance, and sleep. Out of many such men, like animals, there is actually a man who knows the responsibility of human life and thus tries to make life perfect by following prescribed duties. So prescribed is very important. So we are actually obediently following, right? And out of many thousands of such persons who have thus attained success in human life, one may know scientifically about the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. In the same Bhagavad Gita 1855, it is also said that scientific knowledge of Sri Krishna is understood only by process of devotional service. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. The very same thing is confirmed here in the above words. No ordinary man or even one who has attained success in human life can know scientifically or perfectly the personality of Godhead. Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he is not the product of matter, but in fact a spirit. And as soon as one understands that he has nothing to do with matter, he at once ceases his material hankerings and becomes enlivened as a spiritual being. This attainment of success is possible when one is above the modes of passion and ignorance. Or in other words, when one is actually Brahmana by qualification. A Brahmana is the symbol of Sattvagun, or the mode of goodness. And others who are not in mode of goodness are either Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudra, or less than the Shudras. The Brahminical stage is the highest stage of human life because of its good qualities. So one cannot be a devotee unless one at least qualifies as a Brahmana. So Brahminical initiation happens after Harinam initiation, right? By seeing one's conduct, a guru may initiate them as a Brahmana, Brahminical initiation. The devotee is always a Brahmana by action. But what I just said just now is a formal, but one can be really Brahmana by his behavior itself. right? Even though he's not formally initiated like that. So that is also valid. A devotee is always a Brahmana by action, but that is not the end of it. As referred to above, such a Brahmana has to become a Vaishnava, in fact, to be actually in transcendental stage. A pure Vaishnava is a liberated soul and is transcendental even to the position of a Brahmana. In the material stage, even a Brahmana is also a conditioned soul, because although in the Brahminical stage, the conception of Brahman or transcendence is realized, scientific knowledge of Supreme Lord is lacking. So we have talked about this multiple times that Brahman realization and Paramatma realization are partial. Only Bhagwan realization is complete. One has to surpass the Brahminical stage and reach the Vasudev stage to understand the personality of Godhead Krishna. The science of personality of Godhead is the subject matter for study by the postgraduate students in the spiritual line. The foolish man or man with poor fund of knowledge do not understand the Supreme Lord, and they interpret Krishna according to their respective whims. The fact is, however, that one cannot understand the science of the personality of Godhead unless one is freed from the contamination of material modes, even up to the stage of a Brahmana. When a qualified Brahmana factually becomes a Vaishnava in the enlivened state of liberation, he can know what is actually the personality of Godhead. Right? So even like devotees for many, many years, they are chanting and they are doing deity worship, but it's not that they are 100% free from the effects of modes, right? But Prabhupada gave all of us an opportunity to at least start somewhere and start progressing on this path. And if not in this birth, then definitely in next birth. If not in next birth, definitely in next to next. So why I'm saying definitely, because Krishna himself has said that even if you do little devotional service, then you are protected from the uh, great fear of gliding down to a lower species of life. So human birth is guaranteed if somebody does even little devotional service. So when we get a human birth, then our devotional service doesn't start from zero. It starts from where we left off. Okay, so it is constantly progressing. So there will be a time when we will become, completely Vasudev consciousness. So that Vasudev consciousness is what? That completely the effects of modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance are completely removed. So when one is situated in that kind of goodness, at that time he experiences the personality of Godhead, and all material association is removed from his life. So that is what is the essence of this verse. So next time we will read, this is also very important verse in the same lines. This is the last in that sequence. Today the time won't permit, so I won't read this. But yeah, so we can discuss a little bit if anybody wants to share anything, if anything stuck you today. Yeah. Anybody wants to share?
Hare Krishna, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mm, chanting, reading, and hearing chanting.
Yes. That's the essence.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. So yes, hearing every day with full attention. Okay. Even chanting, we should do attentive chanting, not looking here and there, right? We should try to focus as much as possible. Very good, Dayaram. And hearing Krishna Katha, what happens by hearing is our desires, material desires, are cleansed by Krishna himself, which we cannot do on our own. So if we think today that I will not eat in the evening so that I can get up early in the morning, but no, we will end up eating, and more, lot. So And like that, so many examples can be there. We decide something that we will do this, but that never happens. So it is not in our control. It is only in Krishna's control. And that is possible when we approach Krishna through bhakti. Okay, not like a vending machine that I will put something and you give me this. Not like that, but bhakti. Bhakti. So bhakti includes hearing about glories of Krishna and being eager to hear the glories of Krishna. Okay, very, very eagerly we should wait to hear. Every day we should hear Krishna's glories or any transcendental subject matter which is related to Krishna. Good, Dayaram. Nice. Anything else?
Mataji, I like the association part of this, and also basically the last verse where it talks about, like, the story doesn't end there. After Brahmana stage, you go to Vaishnava stage. So there's always a progression in life.
Yeah.
Whenever you start, there's always, you need to just keep on, like, there I'm saying few things about chanting and, always doing something in 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 like in service of Lord and Krishna, basically. So always think
Yes.
Krishna and always do everything around that. So that's my takeaway for today.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you for reminding. I missed that point. That yes, Brahmana is by qualification, but Vaishnava is far more than that. So Brahmana is like a formal qualification, but Vaishnava means actually who is a bhakta. So that is a far more better qualification. And it is beyond the formalization of initiation or brahminical initiation, but still, I mean, it is good to get connected to Krishna's family. Just formalize that, because once one starts loving Krishna, then there is no condition, right? If this process requires this, that's totally fine. But yes, what you mentioned is a wonderful point that Prabhupada is mentioning in this verse, that Vaishnava is the highest stage, and there too, Shuddha Sattva. So we are understanding the importance. So we started from Nityam, this Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. So 16 verses talking about Mahat Seva, right? And then the next verse talks about, so Mahat Seva, we get affinity for hearing. Second verse, next to that is when we start hearing, then material desires start vanishing. Krishna himself removes the material desires from our heart. And then by when then devotional service starts, and then when devotional service start, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, then Nishtha comes in our life. And when Nishtha establishes, then we can realize the pure goodness. And finally, when pure goodness is established in our heart, that time we can realize scientifically presence of Krishna in our heart. And so in all these progression, what is happening is material desires are completely vanishing from our heart, and we are not performing any fruitive action. Like we discuss in Bhakti Vriksha many times, that we want to perform the karma which will not create any fruits, right? So that's where we will reach. So anyways, the time is almost finished, so I will see you on Monday. Thank you. But some of you on Friday. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Panchakalpadeshu
Mataji.
Kripasindhubhyo cha Patitanam
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bhati Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.